Flame 230 CS is a ubiquitous balance type combo in the Metal Fight Limited metagame, and I know some people have some trouble with it. I saw my friend had some trouble with it, so I went ahead and made this video that gave you a couple counters with a difficulty rating attached to it. So first we have MLD, which is pretty clear, pretty obvious. Everyone knows all about that. I mean, I'm pretty confident in its ability, so I don't even bother to relaunch here. There's just really no shot it can lose. At worst, it'll draw. Next we have Gravity Perseus, which is on F230 GCF, and it's at the same height as Flame 230, really showcasing just how terrible its defenses are when you make direct metal wheel contact. This is similarly brain dead. You literally just launch. If you don't KO Flame 230, you will outspin it. I mean, I had real trouble here not winning. Next up we have Flame Cancer 230 on Metal Ball. This one's a little bit trickier because you need to make sure that your Flame 230 is better tuned than theirs to really make sure that you can outspin their combo with reliability. In general, Metal Ball will outlast CS, but if you want to really make sure, you really should tune your stuff. Next we have Duo, the Hasbro Duo on BD with a very aggressive clear wheel. This one also requires tuning and a bit of practice on your side to see which clear wheel works best for you. But basically the idea is that you're at this height where you can destabilize Flame 230 from below using that clear wheel and basically shirk out a win right at the end. Next we have Pegasus on TH170. I've done a video on that one. But basically, just launch. You don't even have to be doing a really great job. Pegasus will just knock the ever-loving crap out of Flame at same height. Now we have Fang Gil on 145. This is a bit of a heavier combo. Gil has some upward projection that makes making contact with Flame a lot easier. So we're taking full advantage of the clear wheel here. It's a little bit tricky sometimes because you need to get the just right kind of hit underneath Flame and knock it out. But in general, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Here we have Screw with Lacerta, another really great clear wheel for making contact. It's also on 145 height. I need to mention that because if you want to have reliable contact and reliable knockouts, you should be aiming for 145 height, even though sometimes the 120 height can work. I also realized that my CH120 went down to its 120 height despite the setting not being that when I first started testing, which kind of explained why I was having a bit of a trickier time. Now we have Lightning El Drago on S130. I have this one a bit harder on the difficulty scale because if your opponent knows what they're doing, it can be a real hassle for Lightning to get a KO. Mostly because if the opponent weak launches, you're going to have a heck of a time. And if they have an aggressive CS like you've seen in this first match, they can actually hit you head on, and that doesn't always mean great news for Lightning. You basically gotta hope you have better grip, and normally you do. Outspins are simply not possible here, but onto Gravity CH145MF where outspins are actually possible. This one's kind of tricky depending on how you look at it, because you need a really deep bank MF and hope to get early contact. Because if you don't, you're not guaranteed the outspin. With that said, if you don't get a KO but you make a whole lot of solid contact, you can secure an outspin later on because you've destabilized Flame 230 enough, which you're about to see here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get many KOs, and it just wasn't extravagant enough for me to show off, but this is a tricky one. Using gravity on right spin is also a bit of a hassle because you can't really rely on outspins at all because it can't equalize right at the end. So that's another scenario where you need to really deep bank and hope that you get a pretty decisive hit in the first two goes around. You'll see here that I kind of really struggle. A little bit of a robbery happens here where I should be awarded a knockout, but it catches the ridge in just the right way. Finally, we have Screw Susanoo on 120 height featuring a Mint RF. The Mint RF is used because it's a little bit taller than a worn RF and it gives you a bit of extra height since for some reason you really want to use CH120 in particular. Now, if you actually want reliability, you switch to CH145 here and things become much easier. So my final thoughts are, if you're struggling with Flame 230, use some of the lower spectrum difficulty combos here because you basically launch and win. They're incredibly hard counters. MLD and Gravity on F230 are just nuts. You can close your eyes and launch. If you're wanting to use attack but you don't feel comfortable, go for a 145 and above height for sure. TH170 would be great. If you're feeling like you want to go hard mode, do 120 height, but you will definitely struggle to maintain a reliable win streak. Thanks for watching. Also, Swift Buddy, hope this helps.